Hi, AJ Hartley here, novelist, Shakespeare professor, fan of various things, including certain elements of Japanese culture. And I'm going to do a review of a TV show called Switched. I'll keep this short because even though I only just watched it, the show was actually released 5 years ago, so I'm pretty late to the party. But I thought I'd say something about it anyway, as it may speak to fans of BABYMETAL and Atarashii Gakko who might have missed it. So Switched is a 2018 Netflix miniseries based on the 2014/15 manga Sora wo Kakeru Yodaka by Shiki Kawabata. It focuses on 4 high school students, 2 boys and 2 girls, and though the core plot element is supernatural, it's essentially a relationship drama focusing on the fishbowl world of contemporary Japanese high school life.
私は何も分かってなかったんだ。この幸せがどれほど大切なものだったのか。
私これから死ぬから。
The inciting incident is the attempted suicide of one of the girls, Zenko Umine, who's overweight, unpopular, and abused by her effectively absent single mother. And that gives you some of the idea of some of the darkness in the show. Umine is obsessed with her pretty and popular classmate, Ayumi, whose life is the polar opposite of her own. And in the moment that she throws herself off the roof, she phones Ayumi so that she sees Umine's fall. The consequence of this, coupled with the mystical effects of a red moon, results in the 2 girls switching bodies, which really means switching lives. Suddenly, Umine is the center of attention at school, and beloved by Shiro, the boy she always had her eyes on. Ayumi, by contrast, is banished from the cool set, mocked mercilessly, and treated as an inconvenience, even at home. It's a searing indictment of the superficiality of school culture, the casual cruelty of classmates and teachers alike, and at times it's pretty hard to watch. The only relief for Ayumi comes from the other boy in the foursome, Kagakun, who protects the newly transformed Ayumi and eventually confesses his love for her. Such surprising optimism is complicated by the fact that Kaga knows who Ayumi really is, as does Shiro, though he is content with Umine's pretty face, regardless of who she really is. The problem, of course, is that while Umine got Ayumi's body and life, she's so badly damaged by her upbringing and social experience that she is effectively a monster, jealous, vindictive, and incapable of maintaining the life she has been magically granted. While Ayumi, though miserable, gradually finds a way, largely thanks to Kaga's ministrations, to find a place in the school's social life. The plot complicates as the core players seek a way to put things back the way they were while working out their various romantic entanglements, a plan which hinges on a complex series of body switches in accord with the sketchily laid out logic of how the situation occurred in the first place. The show's not especially interested in making such things plausible or investing time and effort in showing how and why the body switching works, and what time is spent on this is the weakest part of the series. But if we weren't prepared to buy into the fantasy element, we wouldn't get past the first few minutes of the show. What makes Switched compelling is its study of how private interiority and what we think of as selfhood is put under pressure and shaped by social reality, and how dependent that social reality is on physical appearance. Watching Ayumi be ostracized is all the more excruciatingly brutal because it feels entirely believable, as is the profound psychological damage carried by Umine, which paradoxically cannot be fixed by finding herself attractive and popular. So it's the worst of both worlds. She's damaged by being unattractive, and then when she becomes attractive, it can't repair the damage. The show's resolution, which I won't go into here for fear of ruining it, doesn't flinch from the darker edges of the fantasy, and any positivity in the outcome is very hard won. The show is solidly acted with Daiki Shigeoka as Kaga and Miya Tomita as Zenko Umine, particular standouts. The whole moves slowly and has that tendency of the form to overplay certain moments by resorting to momentary flashbacks to previous scenes so that we can't possibly miss what a character is thinking. But the upside is absolute clarity about the inner lives of the characters, especially the two girls, which is crucial in a show which is so driven by appearances. I said that the show might be of interest to BABYMETAL and Atarashii Gakko fans, and that's because I see specific overlaps in terms of content. The core plot device is the Red Moon, the Akatsuki of the BABYMETAL song. Though the song was released the year before the manga first appeared, so it's not a response to the story. But that doesn't make the connection coincidence. The image of the Red Moon as a mystical symbol in the BABYMETAL song suggests an abiding love, a connection between two people, and the desperate desire to never let that go away in spite of the circumstances which forced the lovers apart. Switched comes at the issue in a different way, but retains a preoccupation with connection and separation, though in the course of the show it becomes increasingly clear that the most vital of those connections is less romantic than it is more generally social, through friends, family, and community. The real evil in the show, as in the song, is isolation. It makes sense too that also emerging from BABYMETAL's first album, when the band were still themselves schoolgirls, is another song which might serve as part of the Switched soundtrack, Ijime Dame Zettai, an anti-bullying anthem which seeks to create connection out of alienation, community out of faction. The show and the music are causally related, not in that one leads to the other, but that they both respond to a specific social reality. That sense of wanting to belong is clear also in several Atarashii Gakko songs, which embrace the trials and tribulations of high school reality. And I found myself thinking in particular of Kimi wa Nai.
マラソン大会楽しみだね。
うん、そうだね。
一緒にゴールしようね。
うん。
約束。
おう。
Partly this song resonates especially well with the TV show because the music video represents the song's core idea in terms of an overweight girl struggling to keep up in a school race while the athletic boy she's clearly interested in leaves her in the dirt. but also because of its repeated chorus.
お願いお願い一人にしないで
Onegai, onegai, hitori ni shinaide. Please, please, don't leave me alone. A line which is uttered by Umine, currently in Ayumi's body, in the penultimate episode of Switched. A line which stands out as a tagline for the whole series.
お願いだから私を一人にしないで
Please don't leave me alone. For all the romance, the magic, the intrigue about who knows what they really think and how the plot will finally work out, that's the core of the show. The fierce, desperate desire not to be left alone. It's a very adolescent idea in some ways, and Switched, like the Atarashii Gakko songs, does a good job of showing how insistent and terrifying it can be for young people. But for most people, I don't think that the fear of abandonment, of irrelevance, ever really fades completely. Maybe that's why the show and the music retain power long after we leave the specific intensity of high school. We all still want to matter to each other. And that's all. As ever, please like, comment, subscribe, check out my merchandise, check out my books, check out my Patreon page, keep your eyes open for Hideki Smith, Demon Queller, my next novel, and I will see you soon. Thanks. Bye.